Okay, you're good.
Great. Thanks, everybody, and welcome to the Town of Sykesville Planning Commission June meeting. Really appreciate everybody attending. Comments? Excuse me, 1 second, please. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. There will be no discussion on items not on the agenda as they have not been made part of the required public notice of this meeting. So let's call everybody to order. And the first item in front of the commission is a review and, if a motion, approval of the minutes from the May meeting. And these would be the revised minutes. We had a revision to come in this weekend and it was recently sent out. So for all who were at the last meeting.
Steve, I actually have one correction. Jana made one of my corrections in the wrong place.
Okay.
So under the 2021 spring amendment, where I had you add the word who, you put it before Board of County Commissioners, and it should be after.
Okay.
Who? Yes. Okay. Got it. So we have that additional revision we're looking at, correct?
Yep.
Okay. With that revision in mind, is there a motion to approve the minutes, or are there any other issues with the minutes?
Move that we approve.
Great. Phil has made the motion. Second?
Second.
Great. All in favor? Who were at the meeting, please raise your hand. Jana, let us know when you're done.
I got it.
Great. Thank you very much. The minutes are approved. We will go into the next item on the agenda, which are the updates, county updates, I believe. Claire?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I just have our typical county updates for you. The first is the comprehensive rezoning. Staff is through with the residential text. And then Planning Commission is currently holding a couple work sessions just for more additional public engagement, basically throughout the month of June before forwarding that to the county commissioners. The 2021 amendment to the water and sewer master plan that was adopted by the county commissioners, and it's being forwarded to MDE for final approval. And then the transportation master plan, we are currently soliciting public input. We have a survey on our website, and that's going through the month of June, I believe. And we will be on our way with drafting that plan. And that's it.
Great.
Any questions?
No questions. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Saved all the room for the comprehensive plan, I guess. Great. Thank you very much, Claire. Appreciate that. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the comprehensive plan. And let me just ask, no public hearing is needed, correct?
No, yeah, we completed the public hearing at the last Planning Commission meeting, and then we actually left the public comments open until May 17th. I can say that we did not receive any additional comments, again, other than a conversation you and I had, Mr. Chairman, about some additional edits, mainly to the growth and future land use section. But all of those comments were incorporated into the draft that was forwarded to the Planning Commission last week, or actually was it last week or a little over a week ago, for your final review. Again, I think, overall, I think the process has been very well received, at least from the public standpoint. I'm sure anytime there's a 130-page document that's presented to the public, I'm sure there's a typo or two that we've missed. But I think, context-wise, I hope that we've been able to capture all the comments that everybody's made and incorporated them appropriately. Staff is certainly supportive of a favorable recommendation tonight from the Planning Commission to the Mayor and Town Council. And then obviously, if you have any other questions, happy to answer them or address anything that anyone may have here, which hopefully is one of the last meetings to get the document adopted.
And before we dive in on that, let's understand a little bit about the tail end of this process, assuming recommendation tonight from the planning commission. So the next step would be to go to the council, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, so
And
ultimately the council approves or disapproves the document based on the recommendation from planning commission.
Great, and got it, okay. So I guess first, any planning commission members have any questions on this latest draft that has been presented and is up in front of us tonight?
I have some additional edits, and unfortunately, I didn't have time to type them up. So
Okay,
go through those. It shouldn't take long.
Okay.
okay,
It's either that, I mean, if they're just like typos and minor edits, we can certainly, you can just send those to us and we can have those made. If they're context, then obviously we can go through them tonight. If
Some of them are typos.
okay.
So the table of contents page,
well, let's Julia, can we again, if it's a typo, can we put those, or about how many typos do you think, I guess? Approximately.
just a couple of typo type things, but some of it is my comments that I provided were not incorporated, and I have questions as to why, and then
That being context, got it, okay,
Yeah.
and that's the majority is context, correct?
yes.
Got it, okay. If that's the case, Joe, can you, since the majority is context, a few typos, can we go through the entire list? Is that okay?
Absolutely, sure.
Great, thank you.
So on the table of contents page, there's some weird,
Do you want me to bring it up?
sure.
Bear with me, guys. This is new to me.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so right there next to at the top about the plan, I don't know what that notation is.
Okay. Yeah, that almost looks like it's like a formatting thing when it converted
Yeah.
from Word to PDF is
Yeah.
like we added that. We'll get that taken care of.
Okay. On page 24, which is not numbered on this draft. Some of the pages don't have the page numbers on the top, but and it may not be the 24th page. It's support mixed use
Is it down
redevelopment.
further?
I think so, yes.
At page 29, I believe, when it really starts to talk
Right.
about Warfield,
Yes.
and I have a few comments
Okay,
there as
right
well.
there, right there. Near the bottom of the page. In fact, it's the second to the last sentence. It begins, the study finds the proposed office challenging, and I had asked that the word space be put in there, office space.
Okay, we can definitely do that.
Okay. And then the next page.
Well, real quick, Mr. Chairman,
Oh,
did you
yeah.
have something on that
Yeah,
page?
that's right.
Yeah, I've got my main comments will be on this page and the next page. In there are context or content comments. If we want to go to the next page, I can either do that or we can stay right here, whatever you'd like to do.
I
So
think
I'll
if we-
just tell you my comment real quick.
Sure.
According to the comment matrix, it was supposed to be noted in this section that any new development, whatever the specific use, must conform to the overall vision and architectural integrity of the Warfield project.
It's in the box under the future
Yep.
zoning recommendation.
It is on the right-hand side there.
Jan, if you scroll down just a little more,
Last paragraph.
Any new development, regardless of use, will need to conform to the overall vision and architectural integrity.
Oh,
of the
thank
work.
you. I totally missed that.
Nope, that's okay.
All right, that was it that I had there, so.
Okay. I'll, since we're on this page, I'll go ahead and take a minute or two and want to add a few, want to kind of start a discussion, I guess, or continue a discussion. And really the question I have is mixed use zoning. I'm going back to the zoning here and understand that it's not a defined term as it relates to this document, but it brings up in this paragraph about, in this section about having some type of discussion with some town residents and coming up with a new vision of mixed use zoning. And I guess my real question is since we don't have a definition for that, what do we currently have there on the project now? We have a mix of uses, correct?
That's right.
So we've got for sale residential, we've got the potential for rental residential, we've got office zoning, retail zoning, hotel, all written within the code. I'm at a little bit of loss on the mixed use versus what currently exists there, unless, of course, we are talking about density, which I think is really the discussion, not the zoning.
Well, I think it goes a little beyond that, because I think the zoning right there now is like employment center or planned employment center zoning, instead of, what it really is, which is just like you described, a mixed use zone that allows for different types of uses. So I think
which is what we have there today, even though it's an employment campus, it's another name for with how it is zoned for mixed use zoning. And I'm not arguing against the mixed use zoning. I'm just really kind of, what are we really talking about here? Again, because the developer has the ability, subject to density requirements, to build this. Now, the developer also knew when he purchased the property, the density.
Yeah.
And if you look back at the absorption and you go pre-COVID, the developer had that information at their fingertips when they purchased the property. So, in my opinion, this kind of can potentially open the door. And I'll say that again.
Right. And again, and I don't think the intent here is to really, point the developer in a particular direction on this particular project, but it opens the door for a conversation to be had. And I think that was the intent, is to have this kind of conversation publicly and work through some of these potential issues. And if it does just surround density, then, so be it. That's where the conversation goes. It does not mean that the planning commission or the council or anybody has to change any of the density that's there. It's just, let's have that kind of conversation, particularly based on the information, some of the studies information that we've all seen and that the developer knows about, as you stated. But let's have that public conversation as we work through a potential zoning rewrite. And again, that's just a potential too. I know we talk about it a lot in the comprehensive plan, but it doesn't mean that's what has to happen. I think it just sets the stage for us moving in that direction.
Understand. Let's stop there for just a second and let's make sure we categorize that correctly. And for example, in the middle of the first paragraph, let's say town's potential zoning rewrite instead of town zoning rewrite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe throughout this document, anywhere where it calls for a zoning rewrite, that we say potential zoning rewrite. Because it is not a given. While I think we may agree that it may be a great direction to go in and we should do this, it's just at this point of the game, it is a potential.
Right.
In my real life, just to jump in there, in my real life where I deal a lot with construction projects, and the way that this is worded, it looks to me like, yeah, it's mixed use development overall, but I can also see what's it. You have a lot of developers that look at it as a building as mixed use, where they put retail on the ground floor and maybe office space, or, you know, in a more urban area, there'd be a parking garage, retail, and apartments or hotel or something all in one building. And that's what they might be calling mixed use. So yeah, I think the potential zoning or proposed zoning right word has to be in there that way.
Let me, as I go through again, I understand the reasons why, but I'm stuck on funding considerations, because that's not really something that's us as a planning commission. So a little bit less concerned of that in the first sentence, having funding considerations there, unless there's a specific purpose for that to be there.
I'm sorry, which paragraph are you in? I'm sorry.
It talks about feasibility studies and funding considerations of the property in the first sentence of this page. Given the existing approved master plan for the tract of property, ongoing market feasibility studies and funding considerations for the property, specific recommendations for revising the master plan for Warfield are not included here. I guess, what is the purpose of having funding considerations there? Painting the full picture?
Honestly, I think that's just filler. we can either remove it or change it.
Okay,
Again,
because I know that yeah, that's not really something in front of our in our purview. While they may be having problems with funding, I understand that the cost of development and maintaining the buildings, that's really not in front of us, I don't think.
And I'm happy to make the change to say ongoing market feasibility studies for the property.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me find it here. Here we go. There was talks about some progress made during the town's ownership of the property. Just for everybody here, when did the town sell this property?
It was sold in 2018.
Yeah.
2018. Was this the intent there for it to the progress being achieved during the town's ownership or during the developer's ownership?
The town's ownership.
Or both?
The town's ownership. We wanted to show that there were in fact buildings that were renovated and rented during the town's ownership.
Okay. 1 second as I'm going through. We talked about personal opinion here. I want to really see how everybody else feels about this, but it talks about COVID-19 in this last paragraph. And it ushering in the demand for suburban and urban living, and then also mentions the SAGE study with having an impact on office space. And that impact, quite frankly, is currently short term, but it is unknown in the long term. Is that something we want to put in this document? Tying COVID to downturn in office space.
Well, I think just mentioning the SAGE study is something that we can do. I mean, we can take out.
Absolutely, because that's what we quoted earlier in that paragraph.
Right. We can take out the reference to COVID and just still point people just to the SAGE study and what it says about the overall market conditions.
I would certainly feel more comfortable with that. And also that in addition, COVID-19 has ushered in an increased demand for suburban and urban living.
Okay.
The last comment, well, actually I have 2 more comments on this page, and it goes, the first one is the first sentence in the second paragraph, and I want to make this comment. It says that a mixed-use zoning designation Warfield will enable the developers to respond to market conditions and not be locked into the existing master plan that is agreed to when the sale of the property happened. I just want to refresh folks, or actually refresh 1 or 2 folks' memories, but not everybody because they weren't here at the time. That master plan happened before the property was sold and was agreed to as the developers were negotiating the contract for this property. It was their plan that they put forth that was agreed to. with some modifications to it. So, you know, I just want to make sure that the story is told that correctly.
Did we want to change anything to that sentence?
I'm gonna-
I've been reading that sentence over and over, as a matter of fact, while you've been talking, Steve. And it kind of bothers me, the part that says, and not be locked into the existing master plan. Because it sounds like we're being the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think if we just take that out and just simply state that the mixed use zoning will enable them to respond to market conditions.
And
That
leave it
was
there.
agreed to when the sale of the property happened.
That is
Okay.
much softer.
Yeah, Julie, I agree.
Okay, good.
Now, just one comment there. Take a look over in the box on the right, because it's the same, it's very similar verbiage with additional information. I just want to make sure everybody is okay with that.
Oh, yeah,
We-
that needs to be
We
changed.
can
in the-
modify that. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, if we're going to change that sentence in the second paragraph, I think we should change what's in that box as well to mirror what we do in the narrative, the full.
Yeah.
narrative.
Bingo, because it talks about the town's progress. And that kind of just takes the town's progress away.
Yeah.
Thank you. Those were my comments on this page. Thank you.
Good.
If there are no others from the Planning Commission, I'm going to turn it back over to Julia to walk us through.
Okay, page 31, which again is not going to be 31. It's going to be later. It has the chart with the 2019 connectivity study.
Yes.
Should be the next one. Yes. Okay, at the bottom, number 12 and
yes.
13. Is there a reason, I've stated this a couple times, that we're not combining those two? Similar to what was done, like number 1 has bike boulevard, sidewalks, shared use path.
And the reason that change was never made, and I should have pointed that one out, is that this is exactly how it's listed in the connectivity
Okay.
study.
That was
So
my question.
We didn't
Okay.
want to make one look different. So we
Okay.
wanted to keep that consistency.
All right, that was what I kind of figured. All right. The next page. The top sentence, and this is a typo thing, Carroll County, Carroll needs
We
2
didn't get it.
L's.
Yep. That was-
And, okay, page 42, which is mostly a graphic of the gateway into town.
Am I there yet?
No,
keep going.
no,
Not this one,
it's with,
okay.
I think
like
you're-
banners on the,
it's the
bridge
sentence that
going
doesn't make
across.
sense on that graphic. Is that what it is?
yes,
Yeah, I caught that after we
Okay.
published. So,
okay. Keep
Well,
going,
I'm sorry,
Dana.
what was it?
so
Right
it's this,
here.
There it is. That's it.
yep. It's the
So it-
narrative in that section that I think it's the second sentence doesn't really make sense
Yes.
because we made some changes to it and just never
Right.
cleaned up the rest of the sentence.
Right, if you read
Got
that
it, yeah.
sentence, it doesn't make sense. Okay.
Good catch.
Page 61, which doesn't have a lot of words on it. Just has 2 paragraphs. Yep, keep going, keep going. There.
There we go.
Okay, the bullet item, the word hits, Maryland as part of hits review should be its.
That's what spell check doesn't pick up.
Yep. Page 74, which is regional parks and trails.
Keep going.
Keep going. Probably the next page. No, one more. Or one more. There we go.
There it is.
Okay, on the comment matrix, Carroll County Planning had a comment on expanding the narrative for that Patapsco Regional Way. And nothing there was changed, so I don't know what their specific comment was, but it was on the matrix.
I think that one was, one, it was a little bit of formatting for this page, and then the Patapsco Greenway Trail is mentioned in a couple other sections.
Okay,
So I think that's how we had, at least that's how we proposed to address it.
okay,
Obviously, if there's additional information that we need to put in there, we certainly can. But we felt like we pointed it out enough
Okay.
where it was covered.
okay. Cool. Page 81. Areas of critical state concern is in the middle of the page.
Keep going, Janet.
Keep going.
Oh, I thought I missed it.
No, it's always a few pages, 4 or 5 pages past what the
Next page.
page number is. Yeah.
There we
There,
go.
nope.
That's it.
Okay, minor, but under areas of critical state concern, the third bullet needs a period at the end of the sentence. And the very last sentence on the page needs a period at the end of the
Ah,
sentence.
yes.
And page 90, which is an intentionally left blank page, except it says intentional. There you go, intentional left blank.
That's a very good catch.
I'm gonna have you draft all my leases.
Page 93, which should be 3 more pages down. Oh, you
go
just
back.
passed it. One
One
more
more.
up.
you go.
The last sentence there, it says priority will be set by council and potential fiscal constraints. I think that should say the Sykesville Town Council to be specific,
Good.
because council could mean any kind of
Right.
council. And last but not least, page 100, which is the page with 3.3 at the top. And under number 3.5, we need to put Sykesville under the
yes.
lead/partner.
Could you say that one more time, Julia?
Under 3.5,
Yep.
there's nothing showing under lead/partner column. That should say Sykesville.
Good.
That's it.
Not that I want to take everybody back to Warfield, but I want to take everybody back to Warfield with one word.
No, nobody wants to. But
I know, I can't find that page now. Shoot.
oh, it was back up where we were talking about before.
Yeah,
It's like page
It's
25,
24 and
24,
yeah.
25, that time, that area.
I'm going back now. And actually, I after listening to what we just went through, very positively, I think we need a clarification here in the second paragraph.
Keep
and-
scrolling there, Jana. Sorry.
It's stuck. It's got to catch up, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's not moving. Hang on.
There we go.
There you go.
We'll get,
I think it had to catch up with itself. Well, now it's not moving. Hold, hang on, guys. I'm sorry.
Scrolled too fast.
I think so.
Computer's got to think about it for a second.
Oh my goodness. Come on.
If it's going to stop, it might as well stop on that page, though.
Yeah, it's a good page.
I do love the
Definitely a good
picture
page.
that is.
that'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not moving now.
Can you try to drag the?
I did.
Yeah, that one.
Go the other side there, Jana. That's just scrolling through the pages. If you go to the other, there you go.
Yeah, but the big one's not moving for some, oh, there we go. Oh my goodness.
Or if you scroll through the pages on the left, we'll tell you which page to highlight and get bigger.
Okay.
If you click on it, you'll get it.
Right, there you go.
Way to go it.
Is that the one right there? Can't see.
So this
24.
one's-
It's
24.
24, yeah.
Next. Nope. 24. Try.
The one before it.
There
No.
we go. Is that it?
No, that's not it.
Oh, shoot.
I think it's
Oh,
down
it's,
farther.
yep, it is down further. You are correct. It's 25.
So this one,
Yeah, it's that one and the next one.
That one. Okay, this one right here. Second paragraph, fifth line down, it says this plan with plan capitalized, and we have two plans capitalized in this section, master plan and comprehensive plan. So I'm assuming this should say this comprehensive plan recommends the town.
That's correct.
Okay. Then we should put that there.
Yep.
Good call.
We are
And
taking,
after I was, going through and listening to Julie, I'm like, yeah, I think we need to do that because again, there's two capitalized plans listed in this
except
paragraph.
we're taking that part out about the existing
We're
master
taking, yeah,
plan.
the existing master plan language is being
But that's
removed.
fine. It's
Master
always
plan's
good to be
capitalized in the
clear.
first paragraph too. So, I mean, it's there. It's in
Right.
the section.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
So,
It's always better to be more specific.
yes, and this, and yeah. Okay, now, 1 second. Sorry, folks, just while we're here at Warfield, I will ask the question. Joe, we did add the growth, the original growth area. Did we add back in the growth areas that exist in our current master plan or comprehensive plan?
Yes, we did.
yeah,
And they were added just in that one section is the last sentence or paragraph in that section, correct?
Well, no, I mean, there were all the maps that were updated
In the
that
maps.
show the,
Yeah.
yeah, that show
Okay.
all the growth areas. Yeah.
Just want to make sure we had it there. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm good. Thank you. So from the Planning Commission, are there any other questions or comments about the document as presented and change discussions we've had and agreed to tonight?
Nope.
Nope.
Great. Joe, then specifically, what is needed?
We need to vote on a recommendation. So basically, the planning commission has to vote whether to or not to recommend this to the town council for adoption,
As amended.
as
This evening.
amended tonight.
Okay. With that said, with no other questions or comments, do we have a motion to recommend sending this to the council as amended this evening?
So moved.
We're going to take Julia as the first there, Phil the second, okay?
Yep.
That sounds great. All in favor, please raise your hand. Let Jana count.
good.
All right. The comprehensive plan is being sent to council for approval.
Right.
Thank Joe,
If I could
Jana.
pop a bottle of champagne right now.
all of the planning commission members for their work here, all the committees. I know there was a lot of hours spent in a very difficult and challenging environment to get to this point. So I want to thank everybody. This was a really, really good plan when you look at it as a whole. And fantastic job the town has done getting it to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do appreciate it. Again, I couldn't agree more. It's been a fun process despite the having to deal with all the pandemic throughout. So
Yeah, well, good. We're there. I guess it's town updates, correct?
Yes, sir. So I have several here, really just to get on everybody's radar. So I think we've talked about before the annexation there off of Schoolhouse Road. It's actually within the comprehensive plan as one of the areas, one of the growth areas. It is working its way through the county process now. As a matter of fact, it was just introduced to their planning commission last week. No questions were asked or really any comments made. So hopefully that's a good sign for that moving swiftly through their process. We will likely be ready to present that to planning commission, to our planning commission here in Sykesville at your July meeting to go ahead and get that, or I guess to keep that process going on Schoolhouse Road. And just to remind everybody, that was the project. There's that large parcel there on the southern area that was potentially going to be subdivided into 5 lots. Again,
Right.
it's conservation zoning. That's
Mhm.
that's the maximum amount of residential that could be there under that zoning. So again, no assisted living facility or something crazy like 150 units. The other item, the town did participate in a development review meeting there with the county regarding a property there on College Avenue. It's the commercial property that's up there near 32 and College. They've been looking to open, I believe it's a pizza restaurant up there. So they're working on their site plan. That is probably the one property in town that will not have any kind of parking issue associated with it, regardless of what use. So once they get a site plan prepared and submitted, obviously we'll be presenting that to Planning Commission for review and potential approval.
The
but
old
then-
mission store.
The mission store.
Yep.
And
Awesome.
Joe, do you know if that is going to be any part residential as well or all commercial?
I believe the whole thing, like right now, it's being used, I believe, as a residential house, but I believe it's going to be all commercial.
Okay.
I think that's the ultimate goal. Am I right about that, Jana, or did I miss the
That
date?
was, see, when they presented, I was unclear because I knew they were living there, but it didn't really indicate what the plan was in the new plan, what the residential part was going to be.
I
And
think
I
the
just
goal
wondered-
is to have it.
But
Yeah, I
there's
think
an
the-
upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering. No, curious more than anything else.
Yep. Next, and obviously, I think there's a lot of people that are aware that the Dunright buildings there on Springfield Avenue have been sold. There was a BZA application a couple months back to convert the warehouse structure into residential. That was denied, and recently they have been, they were before our Historic District Commission to get some preliminary approvals on some architecture. One of the comments that the HDC had was before they gave any kind of final approval on the architecture for the warehouse structure mainly, they wanted to make sure that they came before the Planning Commission and got site plan approval. So one of the things they're proposing is it's certainly going to be a mixed use building, so it would comply with zoning. However, they do not have uses identified just yet, so they're still working on their parking plan. And like I said, just about any property in downtown is going to have to address parking. So they're out working on their site plan now. They will do let's call it a preliminary site plan to present to the Planning Commission so they can actually explain what their parking program is going to look like before they really dive deep into the details of the site plan. They want to make sure they have parking figured out and that the Planning Commission is aware of what they are going to be pursuing there. So again, get that on your radar that they have modified the plan to be in compliance with zoning. However, again, parking is always going to be an issue given the site constraints. The only other real update I have is this is more of just an FYI. County Utilities, Carroll County Utilities is planning for some water and wastewater upgrades there, or I shouldn't say upgrades, just repair work there along Main Street to replace some of the existing lines that are there. They're at 30% design right now. As they proceed through this, we have asked some of the folks there at Utilities to come and give a presentation to our town council so that all this information can be disseminated to the public before work actually begins. There obviously will be some impact to the merchants there along Main Street. I think how they're designing it though is that they're going to try to directionally bore and replace some of these lines with as minimal disruption as possible to Main Street. So again, once they get a little further along, we'll have some sort of public presentation that they'll give. Well, maybe we'll try to do a joint town council planning commission meeting just so everybody gets the same information at the same time.
Thank you.
And then speaking of meetings, really, I should say that, in-person meetings are probably going to be a reality here pretty soon. The town is working on upgrades to our town council chambers. With those upgrades, we hope to be able to provide hybrid meetings. So if people still aren't comfortable necessarily attending in person, but there are people that do want to actually be physically present at the town hall, we should be able to accommodate those. And likely as we get a little closer to testing that system out, I'll send out updates to everyone just via email to let you know when we will be returning in person full time.
Great, thank you.
Good job.
And if there's any other questions or anything that anybody has, I'm happy to answer them.
Commission, anything at all?
I just have one additional comment. Carroll County today put out that they are seeking input from the public about the Patapsco Regional Greenway, the Sykesville to McKeldin segment. So they want comments by June 11th if anybody's interested in taking a look at that.
Wow. Thank you, Julia.
Mhm.
Actually,
catch.
yes.
Yeah.
How can we provide comments?
It says there's 5 ways to provide comments.
I can forward everyone the email. if
Yes,
that
please
works
do.
for you. Yeah, there's
Please
there
do.
are many options to comment.
Yeah.
We held a public hearing. Was it last Thursday or about a week and a half ago?
Everything's like running together because of the holiday. But you're right. It
Yeah.
was either last Thursday or the Thursday before, because I know it coincided with the town's Parks and Rec meeting.
Yeah,
Yes.
Claire, if you could re-forward that or forward that would be great. I definitely want to take a look and make
Yes.
some comments. I
Yes.
use that area frequently, and
Yes, so do I.
a lot of bikers, as I spoke to
Yep.
Ken earlier.
And the hikers?
And that's a pretty
Mhm.
important segment,
Yep.
I know, for a lot of folks in this area to be able to get to other areas right along the Greenway, basically. So,
Yes, so I believe, as you said, public comment closes on Friday, but definitely take a look. The consultant did a great story map. Takes 10, 15 minutes to scroll through. So, and please leave your comments and get it out to everyone else before Friday.
Good.
I'll
Yes.
get that on my biker friends. Thank you.
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
on behalf of the council, I'd like to thank Ted for his willingness to serve. And I'd
Yes.
like to extend my thanks, as well as the council would like to extend their thanks to all of you for your participation in this commission in general and the hard work you put in on the comprehensive plan. I just wanted to let you know we appreciate what you do every day, and I wanted to say it out loud. Thank you.
Oh, great, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much. It
Yep.
takes a lot of folks and volunteer hours to get there. So really appreciate that. Thanks. Great. Joe, Jana, anything else?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right. We have a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
And Phil, all in favor?
Yes.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful month of June, and we'll see you guys in July. Wait, before we go, Jana, is there any date
Holiday.
for July's meeting?
It would be Tuesday.
It'll be
July
the
6th.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 8th, correct?
No, the 6th.
6th.
Sorry, I'm looking at June again. My bad. There we go. Thank you. See everybody.
See you, Barry.
Tuesday.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.